friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Steph and I'm here to talk to you about the 7 eyeshadow palettes I used for February. I'm just going to go through the amount of uses I used on each shadow and where some of them I have tracked before and some of them I haven't. And then I used these 7 palettes plus a palette that I built from my singles. And I just focused on these 7 palettes for February. A lot of pinks. I'm just going to rank them and let you know how many times I used each shadow. And then I didn't this time, I forgot to take pictures for the looks that I did with for the month, but we'll try again. We'll try that for March maybe. So to start, my first palette, I think this was actually a palette that I had meant to use for January, but I forgot, so I threw it in to the February palette stack, and it is the Feeling Bubbly by ColourPop. This is what it looks like. So I do have a pan there, and then a chunk fell out there. So I have been taking a lot of my palettes and not decluttering them, but moving them into a singles palette, taking them out of these small palettes. I currently have, I don't know, 5 palettes full, like trays full. So I think this would be one that I would not declutter, but put into a singles. Like I don't think I need this as a palette because it's pretty neutral. I used this one once, and I think there's 23 uses on it total. I didn't use this one at all. I used this one 5 times. It's a nice golden shade. I didn't use this one. I didn't use this one. I used this one twice. I used this one twice, and that just once. I think I used a lot when I did use this palette. I used a lot out of my BYOP, the palette that I built. So this ranked number 7 just because it's super neutral and kind of boring. But I love the shades, just not as a palette. So then number 2 would be, or sorry, number 6. 6 would be the Secret Admirer palette by ColourPop. I like the concept of this one. I think I only bought it because of the heart-shaped pans, but it's really close to the palette, and these shades of pink are just kind of I don't know. I like a pink or a peachy pink or just not that kind of pink. Oh, I thought I had a pan in that one. So for this one, I used With Love once. I used, where is it? I used the second shade 4 times. I used this shade 3 times. I used this shade 4 times. I used 3 times. 4 times. I didn't use this one at all. I didn't use this one at all. And I used this one 4 times. So, I mean, I got a lot of use on it. I used the whole palette 4 times, like 4 uses. And there is a huge dip in that shade there. Like if I kept using it, I would definitely hit pan. So maybe later in the year I'll try that again. Number 5 would be the All Amethyst palette from ColourPop. Just check my notes here. So not huge amounts of use on this one. going forward. Now this shade I had in a project pan. I obviously didn't pan it, but she's got a dip in her anyways. So I never used this one at all, which I think because it's not super, I don't know, it doesn't really show up as anything on me. I used this one twice, so a total of 3 times since I've had it. I've used this one twice, 3 times total. I've used this one 3 times in the last month, and 7 times in total. I only used the shadow once this month, but a 4 in total. I've only used this shadow once this month, and that was the first time I've used this one. I used this one twice for 5 total uses. I've used this one 4 times for a total of 18 uses, and it would take a while, I think, before I still hit pan. And then I use this one 4 times for a total of 7 uses. This one, if I get room in my BYOP or my singles collection, I would probably make it a singles. This one, I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? But I think you really can get different looks with this one. I think right now I've been probably creating the same look over and over again, but no, it's a nice palette. So not one I would like grab, but if I have to use it, I'm pretty okay with using it. So number 4 was the Hello Kitty palette. Just let me, oh, there it is. So it looks like it has been barely used. So this was the first time I used this shade since I've gotten the palette, so 1 use this month. I used this shadow twice this month for a total of 3 uses altogether since I started tracking it anyways. I used this peachy shade 3 times for a total of 7 times. I used the shadow once for a 4 total. Used this shadow 6. Nope, sorry, I used it once and it was the first time I've used it. I used this one twice for a total of 5 total. I used this one 3 times. Nope, sorry, I never used this one at all. Very neutral. I used this shade 3 times for a total of 3 times total, and I used this shadow twice for 2. Again, this one, I thought that I would want to put it into my singles, but when I first pick it up, I don't know really. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get the same look out of it, but you really do get a lot of different looks. Like the shades are close, but you can get some berries, or you can go right into the peaches, or you can do a total neutral look. So yeah, it's a cute little February palette. My number 3 out of the 7 is my Troublemaker palette. With the bigger palettes, you don't get as much use on each shade. So there's not a lot of use on this palette, but I used this one once, twice, once with that shade, once with that one, 3, once. I didn't use that one, didn't use this one, twice with that shade, and twice with that shade. If you're looking for a dark smoky eye, this is probably a good palette to use. I like the concept of it. I wish it had some brighter colors or lighter colors. but okay. For number 3, number 2 that I used was my Control Alt Glam Marielle with ColourPop. This is the first time that I used this palette this month. So I used this shade twice, once, twice, 3 times. Didn't use this one at all. I used this shadow 5 times, which is surprising. I didn't use this one at all. I didn't use this one at all. I used this one 4 times, 1 time, 4 times, and none at all. So this month I was obviously into a lot of pinks and purples and not many neutrals or blue. I think I always try to use this shimmery blue because it looks nice in the palette, but you make a purpley pink look and then where do you put this blue? Yeah, it's, if it was a lighter blue maybe would look cute, but yeah. So number 2, rank 2. And then my top ranked palette that I used in February was my Ticket to Dreamland palette by ColourPop. At first I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this palette, but I saw this, I can't remember her name, on TikTok, and she just had a full orange eye. And whether it was a filter, I'm not sure. But I really started using these 2 shades with that shade and this pressed glitter, which I never use pressed glitters, but I have been using this shade. I started using it just at the end of the month. So, yes, I did enjoy this one. But not till the end. I feel like, man, if you just find a look that you want to use, you, like, to me, this isn't a, like, I like the look of it, but before I found that look, you know, it was like, what do I do with this? I don't know. But, what did I end up using it as? What is it called? Okay, I used the shimmery shade 5 times. I didn't use this one at all because I had 2 shades like this color in my BYOP, and I like to use those ones up there, a little bit older. I used this pink color 3 times, this brown color 5 times. I got 5 uses out of this super glimmery or shimmery shadow, glittery shadow. I didn't use the pink, I didn't use the purple, I didn't use that teal. I got 1 use out of the gray. I got 5 uses out of the brown, 4 uses out of this dark brown, and 0 uses out of the black. So yeah, I really did like this this palette the most out of the 7, which is surprising because I was like, I mean, at the beginning, I think I enjoyed the pinks, but by the end of February, I was doing so many pink looks that I was kind of tired of it. So I, yeah, really got into the orange shades. So I think because I only have 6 palettes picked out for March, I've actually taken all of my palettes and separated them, so I will use every palette this year, and it's about 6 or 7 per month, so you're only getting 4 uses out of them, plus whatever I use in my BYOP, which I'm really concentrating on those shades, so I can, there should be older shades. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep this one in for another month with March, because March will be a lot of greens. So this will be good to like just have one that's not supery. But yeah, so thank you for taking the time to look at the eyeshadows I used this this month. Do you have any of these shadows or these palettes? Let me know which ones you like the most down in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.